Hey everyone, welcome to Reasons for Roots. My name is Lauren and we are closing up. We're rounding out our year for homeschool. We've been actually started, and my daughter's actually started in May, and my son started in June. And then my youngest son, he just keeps going. So we're kind of year-round homeschoolers. We do things a little differently, just however it fits our schedule. And so we are almost finished with 12th grade, 8th grade, and 2nd grade officially. So I'll just start with my 2nd grader. For him, he's done with 2nd grade. We're moving into 3rd grade. I did an update video, but I did want to share some of my thoughts on some of our picks that we used for 2nd grade. So I have a flip through and a review of Gentle and Classical's Sequence 1. Now we did stop using this about halfway through because my son does have special needs, and this was just a little much for him and it was a little much for me. But I think it's a phenomenal program. It was just a little more than we could handle at the moment. I think this would make a phenomenal 1st or 2nd grade curriculum. It has the history. It has so much included. So if you're interested in that, go back and look at my video. But it was just a lot for us. It wasn't as gentle as I needed. So we shelved Gentle and Classical Sequence 1 about halfway through, and we just picked up a history book I had laying around, and we just fit in some things, some living books, and that worked much better for us. So I think it's a great program. Did it work for us? No, it did not. Okay. And I say that with sadness because I love the program. It looks great. As far as reading goes, he is finishing out Words I Can Build Level 2 by Simply Charlotte Mason. I also moved him into some McGuffey readers. I have an update video on that as well. I really, really like this reading curriculum. I know it's so much more gentler and more different than any other curriculum I've seen. Most of the time, reading curriculum is very intense. My son does have autism, and so reading has been very, very difficult for him. Blending the words has been very difficult. He gets the sounds. He's known the letter sounds since he was like 2, but just blending them together has taken lots and lots and lots of practice. And so a lot of reading curriculums that we've tried have moved entirely too fast. Like we were doing Rod and Staff Phonics 1 and Reading 1 last year, and he did great until they started throwing in 4 or 5 blends a day, and he just couldn't retain that much information, and it was moving just too fast. So that's when I decided to pull this off the shelf that I had originally planned to use with him earlier on, and this has worked really well. It's gentle but formative. So he is taking the lessons and he's digesting them, and I know it has a lot to do with he's just like ready. He's just mature enough now to blend some words, and we've practiced enough to where it's just starting to click more. But I do really like this program as far as it's game centered. He doesn't so much think it's school. We do it like on our living room floor, and he enjoys it, and I like that he enjoys it. And so we plan on moving to level 3 of this. So we loved it. And I'm going to try to be a little quicker because I don't want this video to be forever. But that's the core things from him from 2nd grade that we really enjoyed. Oh, and Gentle and Classical Nature. We loved it. By far, one of my favorite nature curriculums. So it worked really well as well. Okay, so now let me move into some of our group subjects. And I'll just tell you, for our group subjects, I do like a morning time where everybody's together for poetry and hymn and artist study and that sort of thing. Okay, then my little guy goes on and does his own thing, and I keep my 8th grader and my 12th grader together, and we do history together. We've done some writing together, Latin. We've done we do a lot of the things that we can just do together at that time. And so we did writing and rhetoric level 7, and it went well. I was planning on doing level 8 too, but we just couldn't squeeze it in. Writing and rhetoric is a very full curriculum, and so we just did level 7, and we're done with it. I'm not going to start level 8 right now, this late in our school year. So it went very well, and I love writing and rhetoric. If you're interested in like a flip through and a comparison video of writing and rhetoric to some other writing curriculums, let me know in the comments below, because I really have enjoyed writing and rhetoric. We also finished up 3rd form Latin, and this is from Memoria Press. Yeah, turn that flashlight off, please. Thank you. Okay, so we have been doing Latin through Memoria Press for several years. I feel like I could find a better Latin curriculum to fit us. Visual Latin was really good for us when we used it, and I believe there's other options. We're just familiar with Memoria Press, so we kept chugging through. Memoria Press Latin is very, what I call drill and kill. Like, it's very, very much a very rigorous curriculum. And so we don't do this to the height that it is suggested to use it to. We do it mainly for familiarity with the vocabulary words, as well as being able to translate. Okay, and so that's what we did. We finished it. And so my thoughts on Memoria Press is Latin. It's okay. I believe there's probably better options out there. And if we continue on with Latin, we'll probably use something else. We also did grammar of poetry together. We liked this. This was just something I kind of wanted to reinforce my 12th grader and make sure my 8th grader was on track with her poetry recognition. And of course she was. She loves poetry. And so she loved this program. My 12th grade son, he doesn't care for poetry, but it's a good curriculum. So we enjoyed it. Discovering History series from Queen Homeschooling. This was something we were going to like plug into our ancient history, and it was just a flop because not a hit on the curriculum. We just had a lot going on and a lot of moving pieces, and this is just one of those that fell into the cracks, and sometimes that happens, and this was just one. I don't have anything bad to say about it. We just had other things going on, and so this kind of got shelved. Okay, our copy work, we're still moving and chugging along through Luke and using our journals as we listen to a YWAM missionary story, and we love that. That's like a core highlight of our homeschool. Plutarch from Simply Charlotte Mason. This has a video course, and I have always been intimidated by Plutarch. And this is the first year we've actually like jumped into Plutarch, and we have enjoyed this. This is the life of Alexander the Great, and it has the videos that like read through the reading and discussion questions with you. And so it takes like the intimidation factor out of Plutarch. And so I highly recommend that if you're looking for Plutarch. For church history, we used several different resources. Theologians, you should know. And so I just went through and would read some of these. I also read through the Living History series, some of those church history, and we also did the Ancient Christianity course through Hillsdale, and we are currently still working through it. We're almost done with it, and I really like it so far. It is technically a college course, but of course it's suitable for high school students, and my 8th grader is getting things from it as well. So we're doing that. As far as our group history, we're just chugging along. We're about done with ancient Rome. So we started with ancient Egypt because we talked about creation last year, and we took a whole deep dive into that. But we did Egypt, like Palestine and Israel, then we moved into Greece, and now we're in Rome. And so I just chose a handful of living books that I thought would fit us well, and I also used the notebooking method, and I have some videos on that as well. So I just basically made our own course for history and used some living books from different resources, and that has gone extremely well. I think this has been our funnest year probably for history. We've done lots of hands-on things, notebooking, and reading from our living books, so it's been really good. So last for group is Illuminate Bible. I get a lot of questions about Illuminate Bible curriculum, and I love that because this is one of my favorite curriculums ever. And so it's not Charlotte Mason inspired, but it is a thorough Bible curriculum, and I love it. I was actually wrestling with what to do next year for my daughter, and my daughter's like, of course we have to do Illuminate. Like, we both love Illuminate. It has been great for the formation of my children as they reach, high school. So for Illuminate, the upper grades go from 7th to 12th. So you can group all your kids in 7th to 12th grade in one group. I actually pulled my daughter in when she was in 6th grade, and then I had 3 kids in 6th to 12th grade, and we did it together that way. They also have elementary courses. I haven't used one in a long time. I haven't used one with my youngest son yet, but I plan to incorporate those later on. So we love Illuminate. Okay, moving on to 8th grade. So 8th grade, in the video, you will see that she started with language lessons from Queen. This is level 2 for the secondary child. And I said that in that video, I think is where I said that I wanted her to just fine-tune her grammar and writing skills this year through notebooking and through her narrations. And she did that, but she was ready to move forward. So she finished this. And I will say this is a gentle approach to grammar. Maybe if you have a child that struggles with grammar or it's not their favorite subject, this would be a good fit. This was a little easy for her, and she wanted more of a challenge. I'll just be honest. I mean, it's a good, gentle curriculum, but that's where she shines, is grammar, and she wanted a little deeper material. So that's when I decided to go ahead and let her start Rod and Staff 8. Now, this Rod and Staff is very advanced. I actually used Rod and Staff 8 when my boys were in 10th and 11th and 11th and 12th, or something like that. Anyway, they used it for 2 years in high school. So I broke this book into 2 years for them for our high school English, and because it is so advanced. But after I gave it to her about midway through the year, she's flown through it, and she likes 5 or 6 lessons. Like I said, though, this is where she shines, and this is what she loves. She loves diagramming, and she loves just the challenge Rod and Staff English brings. So she did finish it. Highly recommend English from Rod and Staff. I know some people get tired of me saying that, but that is by far the best grammar and English program I have seen. We've used BJU, we've used Abeka, we've used, Fix-It Grammar, we've used a lot of different things, okay? But this is by far the best. Staying on the Rod and Staff train, she finished Rod and Staff level 8 for spelling. We enjoyed the spelling program. It's just a list-based approach, but what I like about it and why I chose to use it is that it has like unearthing the root words. It talks a lot about root words. It pulls back even to like the history of the words, and I just really like that aspect of Rod and Staff's spelling. So she finished that, and I recommend that. She also did And It Was Good by Queen Homeschooling. It's coming unbound. Some of these do that, so that is a warning with this. So we have used these in the past, and she has really liked them. She liked this, okay, but she was getting I think she was just getting tired of, she's been using this for a few years, and I think it was just kind of getting so with her, and she was just ready for something a little different. So she didn't finish this Queen Homeschool and It Was Good. This is Creation Science, but I don't say it's a bad curriculum, and I don't say it didn't work for us. It was just it has worked for us in the past and it's not working right now. It's one of those situations. So nothing bad against the curriculum itself. I thought it was very well written. This is actually one of my favorites from the series as far as the content goes. So staying in the science vein for her, she also did God Made Life, Science Through Generations. She sped through this. It was really more of a 6th to 8th grade curriculum, so I feel like it was a little under her, but 8th graders are, it's great curriculum for the middle school age. It's very biblically centered, and that's what I loved about it, is that it's so biblically, it has such a strong biblical worldview that's what I look for in the science curriculum. So if you're looking for a strong science curriculum with a strong biblical worldview for middle school, check out Generations. Okay, so she also finished Introduction to Logic by Master Books. Again, solid biblical worldview. If you're looking for a logic curriculum that gives a biblical worldview, I would start right here, because I've used other logic curriculums with my boys that weren't as biblically sound as this one is. So I was very impressed with this logic curriculum. I liked it and she liked it. So she's finished all that, and she is finishing up Bible Road Trip. This was something I added in later, and I have some videos on it in the year. So she's only about halfway through Bible Road Trip, but we'll just continue it. Really like it, and this fits well for us as well. So not really anything that just absolutely did not work out for her. We just did a lot of moving on with her, and that's the beauty of homeschool, is when your child's ready to move forward, you can move forward. You're not stuck in one place for a whole year. So I saw a lot of that in her 8th grade year, that she was just ready to move forward, and so that's what we did. In her math, Principles of Mathematics by Master Books. This is a 2-year pre-algebra course. She did year 1 last year, and she's finishing up. I think she has like 5 lessons left in this year's in set 2. And I really, really like the Principle of Mathematics. Math is not her strongest subject, so she's really good at grammar and literature and writing, that sort of thing. But she has done very well with this program. I feel like it's given her confidence she needs. So if you have a student that may be struggling with math a little bit, or they just need an easier approach into pre-algebra, maybe check out Principles of Mathematics. They also have video lessons. We did the video lessons last year, but found we could just, we didn't really have to have them. So we didn't use them this year, but they are there if you need. Now for my 12th grader. So for science for my 12th grader, he did and is finishing up Intro to Forensic Science. I think he has like a chapter left in this. It can be a very rigorous course. He was actually surprised at the difficulty of this course. This would be probably one of his hardest courses this year. So it wasn't as easy as he thought it was going to be. It has tons of lab experiments. We didn't do all the labs just because he doesn't need another credit. Like, we are credit max, and he just didn't need it. And for time's sake, we just didn't do that. But you can add a lab credit to this as well. But he has enjoyed this. This is a very biblically sound, again, because it's from Master Books. Anything Master Books puts out, it's going to have a great biblical worldview. And so he has enjoyed it. And this has been his favorite science I think he's done. But like I said, it's not a walk in the park. There's a reason why they say it's for 11th and 12th graders. It's because it is challenging. So, but we like it. For grammar, we did Fix It Grammar. I'm going to tell you my honest opinion about Fix It Grammar. I like it fine. It does its job. And I know a lot of people love it, and that's great. But I guess it's because I'm so accustomed to Ron and staff that I felt like it was light. And for 12th grade, that was fine. I just wanted to practice and hone in on those grammar skills. and maybe it's because we're so used and accustomed to diagramming sentences that this is the first year he's never had to diagram anything. So maybe it's just we're just not used to this kind of layout. But like I said, it does its job. It's quick and easy, so he likes it. But for me, it's just an okay curriculum. I'm probably not going to pick it over anything else. And I might use it again sometime. It's just one of those that I'm just like, it's all right. It wasn't bad and it fit us okay. It did what it needed to do. But it just doesn't fit my style very well. Okay. For his worldview, we used Generations Worldview by Kevin Swanson. This again was very intense. Me or him, neither one was really anticipating this to be as hard as it was. Because he's always taken worldview classes, apologetics classes, doctrine classes, I felt like he was pretty equipped in the doctrine world and apologetics world and worldview world. I mean, I felt like he knew, but I just wanted to one last good solid punch of worldview, before he goes out into the world. And this has been it. It's been solid, that's for sure. This is a very heavy curriculum, and I do plan on using it for my daughter. It's heavy and thorough, but I just want to throw that out there, that this is not easy. This is not a walk in the park curriculum. This is one where it's really going to make you think, but in a good way. So I highly recommend this curriculum for 11th through 12th graders. I would not assign this to a child under 11th grade. My personal opinion. Okay, and as far as his health goes, he used Queen Homeschooling, every herb bearing seed, and he has just about finished this. I think he just has a few lessons left. You see this one's coming undone too. So I think that's just something that comes along with the spiral bound. But anyway, he has enjoyed this. I've looked at it some. So this has been good. I like this program. I really do. It's an alternative, more of an alternative medicine than a health curriculum. I used it as a health curriculum. It says elective, a natural health curriculum, and it worked well. I mean, I don't have anything to say negatively about it. But it's not if you're looking for traditional health, this is not going to be it. This is more of alternative health and natural remedies, and it's very, very interesting. Okay, and so that was him, and that was our wrap up. And so that was just a summary of our year. Overall, it went very well. We didn't have to cut a whole lot. We didn't have to change a whole lot. Most of what we started with, we finished with, and we liked it. So that's always a good year. So if you want to see a flip through or maybe a review more in depth of something, just let me know in the comments below.